Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Sky Pillar Stadium Week 5 of the Articuno Division. My name is Ballhawk, and I am coaching the Hinterland Woodhammers. And this week, we are going up against Vaxxo. Vaxxo is a very formidable coach who recently graduated from the Zapdos Division up to the Articuno Division this season, after making it all the way to the finals last season and losing a very close game in the Articuno Division to Jake, who was our opponent 2 weeks ago. So our goal this week was to complete the Zapdos Division Finalist sweep, as we already beat Jake, and now we're looking to finish the job and beat Vaxxo this week. So Vaxxo is definitely a proven coach. He's been around for a while. He knows his way around Draft League, and he's put together some pretty strong runs. Case in point, making it to the Division Finals last season. His team consists of we dropped some transactions immediately after the game, so bear with me. Grimmsnarl, Sceptile, Glaceon, Toxicroak, Reuniclus, Heliolisk. He's also got Excadrill, Dracovish, Mandibuzz, Marowak Alola, and Gigalith. So, clearly a Sand Team Archetype, and he's definitely played into that so far this season. He's brought the Sand combo. I think he's brought like the same 4 or 5 mods to each game, and then he's slowly swapped out the 6th team member each week so far, where he's consistently brought Dracovish, Excadrill, Gigalith, Mandibuzz, and Heliolisk, and then he's brought Grimmsnarl, Reuniclus, and Marowak Alola each just once. And maybe one more, I forget the other one that he brought as well, but Sceptile was the other one. But so I didn't really expect him to deviate from that plan too much coming into this game or into this week. So let's just hop into the team that I got going for the KTMB Lades matchup. Starting things off, we got I Could Be Your Girlfriend with the Clear Body ability as always. I'm gonna run with Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Earth Power, and this was actually changed to Rock Polish before the game, so just gonna update that real quick. So yeah, Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Earth Power, and Rock Polish, running 248 speed EVs with a timid nature to give us 349 in the speed stat, and that is there to make sure that we outspeed Heliolisk, and that's really the only thing that we're benchmarking. Outside of that, Mega Diancie, just her stabs go in hard in this matchup. His team is super weak to ground, fairy, and rock all across the board, so she has the perfect stab combo, and then Earth Power just hits things super hard. Rock Polish is there over Calm Mind because in the sand, if I'm able to get up a Rock Polish, I don't fear the sand anymore. Dracovish can't do anything because Moonblast just obliterates it, and then Earth Power just cuts right through Excadrill, and Gigalith is the only thing that really threatens Mega Diancie outright. So, and Heliolisk to an extent. But Mega Diancie is going to outspeed and just take it out anyway. So, yeah, that's Mega Diancie this week. She's really there to just be the enforcer, and worst comes to worst, she'll just come in and bop what needs to be bopped and get out. So that's she's there to be your girlfriend this week. Next up, we've got Kitty Perry, the resident Liepard, and we had a lot of fun with this team member a couple weeks ago when we played Jake, and he was running a rain team, and unintentionally, Kitty Perry has kind of become my weather, I guess, counter, so to speak. When we played Jake, we had the Lagging Tail to trick onto Tapu Koko to make it easy for Mega Diancie to take it out later in the game, which kind of cleared the way for things to just slowly be chipped away, as his team didn't really have much to do with a lot of my defensive backbone after Tapu Koko was gone. This week, we are going to run the Utility Umbrella with a similar game plan. For those of you that aren't aware, this took some digging around a couple weeks ago, but what the Utility Umbrella does is it basically it protects the holder from any effects of weather. So the best example that I can give is, let's say I'm trying to hit Scizor in the rain with a fire attack. Normally, the rain is going to cut my fire type attack's power in half. So a 100 base power flamethrower, or heat wave, or whatever fire move is 100 base power. Its power is immediately going to be cut down to 50. But if the target is holding the utility umbrella, they'll be protected from that rain effect. So flamethrower or that fire attack move will still do 100% of its normal damage output, even in the rain. And so that also works on moves or on abilities that help the Pokemon out in the rain, such as Slush Rush, Swift Swim, Sand Rush, etc. Solar Power. It protects the user from having those things triggered by the sun. So the goal with this is to trick the utility umbrella onto either Dracovish or Excadrill. Ideally Excadrill, because I feel like my team is more equipped to deal with Dracovish, but Excadrill could be a threat. And then outside of that, just there for pivoting with U-turn, threatening things with foul play that aren't super fast in the sand, and then Taunt is there to deter Reuniclus setting up a Trick Room should he bring that. That was one thing that I kind of was a little bit nervous about looking at the team this morning with Rom was had he opted to, or if he opts to bring Reuniclus with Marowak Alola, that could spell a lot of trouble for my team, just because I don't have a whole lot of answers for that in Trick Room in general. So Taunt is really my only my only real play against that, and then Trick if it can take away the item from his Marowak Alola. So Viper is there to really check both. It's there to do a lot of things this week. It's there to check the sand speed doubling effect of the Sandstorm for Excadrill and Dracovish, and then also stop Trick Room from going up and take the Thick Club away from Marowak Alola should I need to. And then we're going to go with 220 speed EVs with an Impish nature. The 303 speed stat there, what it allows us to do is it outspeeds Excadrill, a max speed Jolly Excadrill outside of the sand. So if we're able to trick the utility umbrella onto it, Lappert is always going to be faster, and then Foul Play is there to hit. His team is so physically offensive, it's kind of easy to pick the Foul Play move as the stab of choice for Lappert this week. And then, yeah, that's Kitty Perry this week. Next up, we've got Rhinoceraptor holding the Rocky Helmet as always. I've got Kenai, and that was a mistake. That definitely should have been Sturdy, but you know. You live and you learn. I was a little bit of a hurry with this one, but the idea behind this is to set up spikes or set up hazards to pressure switching around, and then Roos is there for longevity. Body press, because his team outside of Marowak Alola, he doesn't have an answer for body press anywhere. Body press just kind of runs through his team. Nothing wants to switch into that, much less sit in front of it, aside from Helios, because it can outspeed Rhinoceraptor and knock it out with Thunderbolt. But I'm not going to give it that chance. And then we got Defog to get rid of potential screens from Grimmsnarl and opposing rocks that I don't want in the field of play. Not making it too complicated with the stat set this week. Just going to go with max HP, max defense with a bold nature, and 4 in special defense. Next up, we've got Captain Marvel making another appearance. Trying something a little more gimmicky, grabbing a little bit of inspiration from Thunderbug's set of the week last week in the Lugia division. We're going to run with Leftovers, Marvel Skill, Coil, Substitute Aqua Tail, and Triple Axle. Now his team is quite ice weak, and then the things that do resist the ice take Aqua Tail neutrally or are super effective to it. So the idea behind Captain Marvel this week is pretty straightforward. Find an opportunity to set up a substitute, get up a coil or two, and then just start punching holes. I don't know any exact calcs from Milotic this week. I just know that his team doesn't like this set at all if it's able to get set up. Something that can definitely, keep Milotic climbing on the MVP chart if this set does what it's intended to do. So 252 HP, 252 max special defense with a careful nature, and 4 onto the attack stat. Next up, we've got Spiked T, holding a Life Orb with the Sand Rush ability. Going to go with Rapid Spin, Knockoff, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. 252 max attack, or 252 attack EVs with a add-on nature to give us the max attack output. 144 speed EVs, and what that does is we outspeed Excadrill after 1 Rapid Spin in or outside of Sand, so that's pretty big. And then we're able to knock it off with Earthquake. And I don't remember for sure if it. I'm pretty sure it lives a +2 Earthquake from Excadrill from full health. I know it for sure takes a couple of hits from it at base attack, and then Sand Slash just knocks it outright without a setup whatsoever with Earthquake. But knockoff is there to help, obviously knock off items. Sand Slash is able to put on a surprising amount of offensive pressure in this game, especially after getting a Rapid Spin off, being able to outspeed things where it normally shouldn't. And then if he's able to, I'm also able to take advantage of the sand that he's going to set up himself when he brings the Gigalith, and just kind of turn that into his own enemy, so to speak. And then finally, we've got Mummy's Boy, making an appearance for the second time this season, holding the leftovers item with the Mummy ability. We're running a fun Iron Defense Rest Talk set. Where have we seen this before? Oh yeah, Berry Fairy's Registeel. I believe it's leading the division in the MVP race. Somebody please stop that thing from setting up each week. Thank you. Anyway, back to Mummy's Boy. We're going to go with 172 HP, 252 defense EVs with the bold nature, and 84 special defense EVs. The EV sets and the nature aren't anything too crazy. I think I pulled those directly off of the Smogon, or the Showdown damage calc, just because I don't really have anything else to check. It could be optimized, I guess, but for what we're trying to do this week, that's perfect. Checks us a little bit on the special side, allows us to live at least 1 Thunderbolt from Heliolisk, possibly 2. And then max defense to help boost our ability to set up and just stay in the game and clean things up with Body Press. The idea behind Cofagrigus here is to be the MVP this week. Unless he brings Marowak, then we'll have to change the game plan up, and it might end up being Spiked T making a guest MVP appearance. But if he doesn't bring that Ghost type, Iron Defense Body Press Rest Talk is just free against him, especially if we're able to find an opportunity to get at least just 1 Iron Defense. His Dracovish isn't going to be able to 2-hit KO us. It'll be a 3-hit KO, and Body Press is going to take it out. And then, we could get up 1 Body Press and then rest and just play the Sleep Talk game, and eventually we're going to get another Iron Defense, and it's just, Cofagrigus just wins if I'm able to get a free setup. So the idea behind this is looking for an opportunity to get that setup in, and if that happens, it has a good probability to snowball for us and do good things. So that's the team for this week. Let's hop into the replay. Here we are, and I'm just going to press play and go from there. I was very pleased to see that he didn't bring the Reuniclus Trick Room combo. That was something that was very frightening to me during the team builder this morning. But I decided to lead with Liepard, and given the fact that my Legging Tail trick was so, I guess, spotlighted against Jake, I knew that it was likely that he would switch Grimmsnarl in to try to counter that. So instead of just going for the trick outright, I decided to U-turn, get the momentum up with safe play, and then bring in Sand Slash on his Grimmsnarl. And as you saw, Sand Slash was able to do quite a bit offensively. In the beginning here, I was just playing safe. I had a feeling he would switch it to Mana Buzz there, but I opted to just make the safe play. There was no reason to make any crazy reads at that point. So far in the beginning, just playing it safe, not doing anything too crazy. Substitute here probably would have been the better play instead of going for a coil. It would have given me a chance to at least get a hit off on the Heliolisk, at the very least. That's one major misplay on my part. Making some obvious switch-ins. That's okay. Again, just trying to get a feel for his playstyle this game. I didn't want to play myself into a hole early, and he's making the obvious switch-ins, so that's something that I wanted to keep in mind going forward. Now, every time that Sandslash is in front of something, he's brought Mandy Buzz in on it. And then here, going for the Hyper Voice, I couldn't live it, so it was a free kill for him there. I could have gone for the body press here, but I felt getting some Hazard Zip was the better play, as he opts to go for the defog right away, as I tried to stack up a second layer. So I had a feeling he was going to go for another defog just to keep them off again. He doesn't. He goes for the foul play instead, and the coffin is in. At that point, I want to pause this. So leading up to that, I knew that. So his moves are foul play, U-turn, and defog. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. So knowing that information, it's highly unlikely that he's going to have any type of status move like Toxic. And even if he does, it doesn't do much because we have Rest. But the fact that he's got foul play, U-turn, and defog, he's got Roast. So it doesn't have knockoff either. We're able to come in for free and keep our leftovers. And the fact that he had to switch out with Mandy Buzz because it wasn't going to do anything to Cofagrigus, and he had to fear the threat of Toxic coming off, gave us a free opportunity to set up our first Iron Defense, which then just kind of set the tone, really set the stage for Cofagrigus to come in and do some work. And luckily that we went for the Iron Defense as well, because he switched out into Grimmsnarl, and that would have just been a wasted turn for us and given him a free switch in to get rid of our setup, and it would have been in vain. So going for the Iron Defense here was key. And then at this point, we're able to just kind of autopilot. I knew that Heliolisk wasn't going to two-hit hit, or wasn't going to OHKO us, and so at this point it was really just, he got the lucky Thunderbolt para, and then it was really up to Runerigus pushing through not one but two Thunderbolt paras, and not getting full para to get the rest off. And so now it's just, we've got the Iron Defense up, which is crucial, so his Dracovish can't 2-hit KO us, and now we're just playing the rest talk game, and eventually we're going to get what we need, and there we got it. So, and then at this point, there's nothing that his team can do to stop it. The rest is just they had to come in and basically get bodied for the game to be over. But yeah, you see the power of the Iron Defense body press set. It's kind of become a staple in the draft league as of late, for good reason. It helps make the bulky teams a little more viable. They're not so much passive anymore. Having something that can defensive body or just body press with a strong defense stat is very, very nice to have. And just, it does a lot of stuff for the bulky teams now. But yeah, at this point, this game is kind of a wrap. And Cofagrigus coming in second time this season and putting in some work. The last game that I played was the opener, actually, and didn't do a whole lot there. Made a couple appearances, getting a Will-O-Wisp off onto the Mega Aggron, I believe, and just threatening with Hex and Will-O-Wisp status in general. But this week we were able to bring it and really showcase another setup option on the team to give something for just give opposing coaches one more thing to think about. Keep in mind as they're prepping for us week in and week out. So with that, I want to wish Vaxxo a good game and well played. He's been having a little bit of a rough go of it so far, but I think, you know, it might have just been getting locked into the same 5 Pokemon each week and making it makes it a lot easier for teams to prep for him if they know what he's going to bring. But he made 5 transactions after this, and his team looks completely different now. And I think he's going to do pretty well. But he's definitely got the skill to turn things around. Very formidable coach. And we're going to see how he finishes out the season. He's got plenty of time to turn things around and make a playoff push. But as far as big picture for us, that puts us, awaiting Tooth's game to see how he does and see if he can keep his win streak going. But barring any setbacks, we're going to be number 2 in the division, sporting a plus 23, plus 21, sporting a plus 21 point differential. So sitting in a very commanding position, and if nothing else, we control our own destiny for the first overall seed as we finish the season against Tooth in week 9. So that is certainly setting up to be quite the match to finish out the regular season. I don't expect either of us to bring any memes or anything to that, but that's quite a few weeks away yet. But definitely something that I've got my calendar marked for before we get into the playoffs. But this is another cap to a great week in the Sky Pillar Stadium. I want to thank you all for tuning in and checking out the game, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.